Hello and welcome to Syllabus Overview of Class 10th NSO Chemistry, National Science Olympiad Chemistry. So in this particular syllabus overview, you will be getting that in this particular series of lecture, what you will be getting and how many chapters are there in the chemistry and what will be the approach of ourselves to crack the exam. Okay, so let's start. Class 10 chemistry, there NSO chemistry, there is 5 chapters. First chapter is chemical reaction and equation. The next chapter is acid, bases and salts. And in the third chapter there is metal and non-metal. And the fourth chapter is carbon and its compounds. And when we talk about the fifth chapter, it is periodic classification of the elements. So now we will first of all when we will start with the first chapter, which is chemical reactions and equations. So in this particular chapter, what we will be understanding. So in this particular chapter, we will first of all understand that what is chemical reaction. We will also understand that what is a chemical equation, and we will also see that what type of chemical changes are there, what type of physical changes are there, and we will also classify the reactions into different types. Like there are some types of reaction like redox reaction is there, some displacement reaction is there, some elimination reaction will also be there, some double displacement reaction will also be there. And when we talk about the chemical reaction, how we will understand that this is about the this in this particular case reaction is occurring, and in this particular case reaction is not occurring, we will also understand about this. And when we talk about the chemical equation, first of all, we will understand that what is a chemical equation. And when we are understanding about a chemical reaction and chemical equation, we have to also understand that how to balance a chemical equation. In a reaction, there is two terms. One is the reactant, another one is the product. So when we are trying to understand that what is chemical reactants, what are chemical products, so you have to also balance the atoms present in the reactant and the atoms present in the product. Means the total number of the atoms present in the reactant, the total number of the atoms present in the product has to be the same. Means reaction has to be balanced. For example, if we are trying to understand a simple chemical reaction, that H2 gas is reacting with oxygen gas and forming the water molecule. Okay, so if you observe this particular reaction, when you will see that here two hydrogen atom is there, in the water molecule also two hydrogen atom is there, but when we talk about the oxygen atom, here only one atom is there, but here two atom is there. So we have to balance the oxygen atom. So we will also understand that how we will be balancing the equation. Means balancing of the chemical equation is also very important topic. We will also understand about this when we are talking about the acid, bases and salt. So we will understand that what is acid, what is base, what is salt. First of all, we will try to identify that the what is the basic definition to uh, categorize any substance as an acid, base or a salt. How salts are formed, there is a special reaction about the salts, and we will also understand about some kind of when we have acidity, what type of substances we can use. And we will also understand that when we use some kind of substances in the market, we eat something, it can react with acid or base. We will also understand about this type of topics in the acid, base and the salt chapter. And when we are talking about the metals and non-metal, we will identify that what substances can be termed as metal and what substances can be termed as the non-metal. So you actually know that in the periodic table is a periodic table, total elements are 118 elements. Out of those element, 92 elements are actually naturally occurring, and the remaining are transuranic element or the element which are formed in the lab. So out of the 118 elements, some are metals, some are non-metal. We will try to identify that what is the definition of the metal and what is the definition of the non-metal. What are the characteristic properties of the metals and what are the characteristic property of the non-metals? What are the examples of the metal or what are the examples of the non-metal? We will also understand that when we are trying to uh, obtain any metal from its ore, which comes in the topic which is a special topic, in the higher classes, which is known as the metallurgy. So we will also understand that how we will obtain pure copper, how we will obtain the pure iron, and how we will obtain the pure aluminium. There is a special reaction related to the aluminium, which is whole Herold process. Let me tell you one fact that in the when we talk about that aluminium was way costly than the gold in the some of if we talk about very like 200 years or later. So aluminium was very costly in comparison to the gold. But what happens because of the whole Herold process, that aluminium separation of the aluminium or the purification of the aluminium becomes very easy, and that's why aluminium becomes cheaper than the gold in the present case, right? And when we talk about the carbon and its compound, so we will understand that what is carbon, what is the two basic property of the carbon. Because of that, the occurrence of the carbon in the nature is very high. We will understand different types of the hydrocarbons, like what is alkane, what is alkene, what is alkyne. We will understand that what is the common name of alkane, what is the common name of the alkyne and alkene, how to name it, how to do the naming IUPAC nomenclature of the alkanes, how to do the naming of the alkene, how to do the naming of the alkynes. We will also understand the some of the common name, and this is about the carbon and its compound, and there is some other topic which will we understand in this particular chapter. Okay. And when we talk about the periodic classification of the elements, so in this particular chapter we will understand that how, first of all, what is the need of the periodic classification, why periodic classification was needed when we are having so many elements. So there was a need of rearrangement of the arrangement of the element in the periodic table or the tabular form. And to do that, different scientists come forward, in which there is Newlands, in which one scientist is Dobereiner, one scientist is Newlands, one scientist is Dobereiner, and other scientists like Mendeleev, Henry Moseley, and which is the most acceptable periodic table. And to make the periodic table, what was the basis? So these type of topics will we understand in the periodic table, and I will also tell you that what is the different type of things we can observe by the periodic table, like acidic nature, basic nature, size of the atoms, and how the number of cells will be increases. So these are some of the properties which will be also studied in this particular chapter. So this is about the basic overview of the syllabus of class 10th NSO chemistry. Okay. So, and in this particular course, what you will be getting, what will be covered in this particular uh, for series of the lectures, you will first of all get the topic summary. Means we will understand about the each chapter. We will cover the theory of the each chapter, and we will also discuss the questions which has to be we know. And there was some means we can categorize these questions into three category. One is the level 1 question, it is level 2 question, okay, and it is level 3 questions. And we will also discuss the previous year questions, and we will also discuss some test paper as well. So this is what we will be covering in the series of the lectures of the class 10 chemistry for the NSO syllabus. Thank you very much.